block the placard. I'm Jonathan from Pops. I'm up in the National Forest on Tollgate. A friend of mine that follows my channel, he brought me up here, thought I'd like to check it out, and sure enough, it has some history. Back in August 16th, 1943, B-17 crash landed at this location with crew members Lewis, Francis, Walter, and Phillips. I'll show you the placard in still shot so you can see the last names and stuff. We want to pay respects, give them some. I'm actually glad I'm actually here at this site. I'll show you in the video of the location, the parts laying around from the accident. It was very devastating. Right in this area, the cabin with the ones on the plane are actually still here. Cabin and all. They didn't remove the bodies. They just left them and pretty much made this spot their location of rest. If you do come up here, give respect, take photos, pay your respects, and learn the history. I will add some of the history, and the buddy that brought me up here may be talking a little bit more of the history, but right now I'm giving you a little bit of the scenery, showing you the placard. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll show you around. We believe right in this area is where the cabin is. Right in this area. You can see how it's all like caved in. Like it shot up and came back down over the cabin. But I'm showing you remains of what was once a B-17.
There's a berm of dirt. Right there. It starts right there. It goes over to there, and that's where the dirt got pushed up when this plane hit, and it pushed up all that dirt up that way. You can tell. This is the cowling for one of the engines. The turbo for it is up that way, but the engine itself is down here. Now that would be the very far engine.
I will do an EVP session here. To see if they are still lingering in this spot or not. So we're going to find out.
The very outer engine on one of the wings. The other very out engine, furthest engine, is over that way. The two nearest engines to the fuselage was actually buried with the crew members, and the fuselage is there in the ground. And so pretty much under this flag here is where they're buried. The men, the 383 bomber group, B-17. My grandma could have worked on these planes. She was a Rosie the Riveter. There's the turbo off of the one engine, and the other turbo to the other engines right there. Now this would be the two turbos closest. They would be connected to the engines closest to the fuselage. So literally, I'm probably standing right above them. Here's this hole here, but I'm gonna guess this is where the cabin was. There is remnants of still parts of the fuselage. There's a great big ram right here, probably for the wheels. So this is this is probably the left side wheel. And I found the rear wheels down off the hill over there. I'm gonna go down there in a bit. Here's the other side of the wheels right there. Pretty crazy. The battery. Some of the brake line. Some of this is just really melted. There's the other engine. That's the furthest, that's the outer engine. It's crazy to think these cylinders, oh, this cylinder's gone. Okay, so this engine got so hot, it actually melted the aluminum cylinders that were in here. The connecting rod's still there, but the actual aluminum cylinder, the aluminum head is gone. Now on the other engine over there, it's not. The aluminum heads are still in there, and they're actually still in timed sequence of each other. So it's, I don't know what that might mean. Maybe it just didn't hit so hard, I guess. I don't know. There's the cowling for this engine. Piece of melted aluminum. Another piece of melted aluminum. Another battery right here. Part of the fuselage. I'm not exactly sure what that is right there, other than it kind of looks like a support, and there would have been like hangers from it, maybe to like hold something up from the roof. You know, like some of those guns were strapped that way, but I doubt this training. I doubt this trainer had guns on it. Maybe. Okay, so heading off down the hill quite a ways. Here's another piece of something. But I headed off down the hill. Now this is quite a ways from the engines, and here is the other side of the I mean, this is a that's a landing gear, is what I'm trying to say. You know, it turns. There's the hydraulic ram for it. This side would have been up in the plane. That would have been what dropped out.
So, right in this area, and see if they want to communicate if they're still here. So, again, if you do come up, respect them, and I'll take a photo again so you guys can see and pay them respect.
I'd almost say, being that this is here, that maybe they had their landing gears down, because you would think that maybe this would be further up the hill. If not, this is what I see, the furthest thing down the hill from each other. These welds are crazy, because like the welds, everything else is rusted other than these welds. That's really nuts. I wonder what they welded it with. It's crazy. He's a good welder, but what did he weld that thing with? On a dented cylinder even. Something dented it. Anyway, I'm going to head back up the hill and I'm going to start a new video.
Alright. Now, I'm actually going to see this is what I'm using. Alright. Is there anybody here that wants to communicate? You are? What's your name? Can you died together? Can you tell me your name? I am sorry if I'm on your cabin. Are you right here with us today? You are? Do you have anything to say to your family? You're weird? I heard about the accident. Can you tell us what happened? Can you tell me how you lost control of the plane? How did you guys crash? Distance? You guys are hurt? You know, this is a memorial site for you guys. You're more than welcome to communicate with us. This device will allow you to communicate, to say anything you want. Are you still in pain? Did the engines fail on the plane? Both? Did you lose oxygen in the plane? We don't mean you no harm. Are you still here? You know, you're more than welcome to communicate with us. You can say anything to your loved ones that are still around. You miss them today? I heard about the accident on August 16th, 1943, when you guys crash landed here.
As well?
Yes. Can you tell us your story? I know it was tragic. Flying? I know. Do you mind saying anything to your loved ones or to us to tell us your story? Yeah? You're more than welcome to tell us your story. What you can tell us, you can. Yes, my name is John. And no, I do not mean you no harm. I wish I can give you something in remembrance to you guys and pay my respects that way. I do want to say this to you guys. I thank you for your support of this country. Thank you for communicating with us. All right, bye. Okay, I got a responsive bye.
I heard it say fire.
Stay, Roscoe.
I don't know if you mentioned fire or not.
Now we did get some EVPs. I don't know if you guys heard it or not, but we'll find out in the video. But there was a fire up here after the crash happened. And like what I said during the EVP and what I told you at the beginning, the cabin's still here along with the 5 that perished in the crash. So I do thank my buddy for bringing me here. Do you mind if I give him your name?
Go ahead.
His name is Chris, or Cody. I'll link him to the channel, you know, just his first name. But I thank Cody for bringing me up here, giving me some history. I'll add more of the history to it from the page on exactly what happened and how it happened, along with some photos and stuff at the end of the video. This way you guys are aware of more of the history in depth. It is a bit of a walk and a hike to get here, but being here, paying respects to the deceased is the best idea. Sit down, pay your respects, learn the history, and understand that it was very, very tragic on what happened to them. And I know I haven't posted in quite some time, but I need to get back into it. And Cody does know some other locations that would be interested in going to check out. And he'll probably be later getting more into the videos too. But he did his own video here as well. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. And don't forget, if you like the video and want more videos like this, comment down below, and always follow for more videos to come.
B-17 crash site, Blue Mountains, Oregon. Victims of 1943 military training accident remembered. Dick Mason, Oct. 20, 2017, Le Grand Observer. The full story behind the 1943 deaths of 4 young men in a military training plane crash near Tollgate may never be known, but they will not soon be forgotten. Lyle Schwartz and Armin Woosley of Legrand made certain of it Wednesday. Schwartz and Woosley installed a plaque honoring the 4 members of an Army Air Corps B-17 bomber crew who died August 16, 1943, when the plane they were flying on a training mission crashed in a forest on the northeast edge of Umatilla County. The plaque was mounted on a tree at the site of the crash near Lake Creek Trail in the North Fork Umatilla Wilderness. The plaque's inscription lists the names of the members of the crew and salutes them as heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice for their country. "It is important that their lives are commemorated," said Schwartz, a retired Eastern Oregon University theater professor. The crash claimed the lives of Master Sergeant Philip J. Rogers, 27, of Duluth, Minnesota; First Lieutenant Lewis W. Hubbard, 22, of Monette, Missouri; First Lt. Francis L. Stevenson, 25, of Pontiac, Illinois; and First Lt. Walter P. Fitzmaurice, 25, of Anaconda, Montana. Their plane spiraled to the ground 75 minutes after leaving their training base at what was then the Pendleton Army Airfield. Stevenson, Hubbard, and Fitzmaurice perished when the plane slammed into the ground, and Rogers died after he bailed out with a parachute. His body was found away from the plane's wreckage. The B-17 bomber hit in perpendicular fashion with such force that Woosley believes some of the remains of the men in the plane are likely still buried at the site. He anticipates that human remains may someday be found there. "You definitely could say this is hallowed ground," said Woosley, a retired City of LeGrand Public Works employee who has worked extensively at aircraft crash sites while serving as a search and rescue volunteer. He said it is not known why the crew lost control of their B-17 and why only one person attempted to bail out. They never reported to the Pendleton Army Airfield having any engine problems, Woosley said. The plane crashed after climbing to 20,000 feet, an altitude at which oxygen is needed. Woosley believes the bomber's oxygen system may have malfunctioned, causing the crew to lose consciousness. They may have gone to sleep, he said. Other possibilities for explaining why the crew did not abandon the aircraft could be that the sudden loss of altitude slowed their reaction time, or they could have been overpowered by centrifugal force in the out-of-control B-17. According to a passage in the book Aircraft Wrecks of the Northwest by David McCurry, Woosley said he finds it intriguing that only 2 engines are at the site since the bomber had 4. He believes that the 2 engines closest to the fuselage may have been thrust into the ground and buried because of the additional force they were subjected to due to their position on the plane. He was also surprised that there is no evidence of the tail of the bomber. "You almost always find the tail at an airplane crash site," he said. "The tail would have displayed the plane's identification number. Some of the metal at the site appears melted, which Woosley explained was likely because of the explosion following the accident." Referring to the high-octane gasoline the Army used to operate B-17s, Schwartz said, "It must have been an incredible explosion." Despite the explosion, the crash ignited only a small fire, according to the Aug. 17, 1943, edition of The Observer. Forest Service crews cooled the crash site with water from nearby Buck Creek, according to The Observer. Schwartz learned about the 1943 airplane crash a year ago. He then determined its location with the help of information in books. Schwartz next found the site, which turned out to be an easy 1.5-mile walk in the forest from an area road. When Schwartz found where the bomber had crashed, it seemed as if he were stepping into a time capsule. "It really felt like that," he said. Schwartz then told Woosley, a good friend, about finding the crash site. Woosley, who said he first heard stories about the Tollgate area crash in 1980, jumped at the chance to later visit it with Schwartz and help install the commemorative plaque. "There is no litter at the crash site, but it is apparent that people have removed a number of smaller items from it over the years," Schwartz said. "Grave robbers have been here," he said. "Among the wreckage that remains are sections of wings, parts of the landing gear and wheels, batteries, and large fuselage skins." Schwartz said a large American flag had been attached to trees near where the B-17 crashed. "It looked like it had been put up last year," he said. "The flag had become quite tattered, so Schwartz and Woosley replaced it with a new one Wednesday. The plaque they installed will survive the elements better than the flag, for it is made of acrylic stone, Schwartz said. Acrylic stone is a non-absorbent, non-porous, solid surface composite material known for its longevity. Along with names of the 4 crew members, the new plaque has an inscription reading, "Please treat this place with respect due these young men who made the ultimate sacrifice for their country." Schwartz and Woosley have looked into the backgrounds of the plane's crew members and uncovered information with the help of a private investigator who was referred to them by Tim McCarthy, a retired police officer. Some of what Schwartz and Woosley learned from Whittington was heart-tugging. For example, they learned that Fitzmaurice had gotten married just 4 months before the accident. He was the only crew member who was not single. Whittington found one surviving close relative of a crew member, Bob Hubbard of Branson, Missouri, the younger brother of Lewis Hubbard, the crew's pilot. He said Thursday morning that he was happy about the plaque was installed at the crash site. "I'm thrilled to hear about it. I'm happy that he's being honored," Lewis Hubbard said. The Branson resident has fond memories of his brother. "He was a wonderful guy. He was happy and full of life," he recalled. After learning to fly a Piper Cub plane in college, Lewis Hubbard had a private pilot's license when he entered the military. Bob Hubbard said his brother once shook up his hometown of Monett, Missouri, when he flew a plane over its main street not far above the building's rooftops. "He rattled things a bit," he said. The members of Lewis Hubbard's crew had great confidence in his flying ability, according to Aircraft Wrecks of the Pacific Northwest. McCurry wrote in his book that the Army committee investigating the 1943 crash said the crew had such high regard for Hubbard that it was possible they delayed their attempts to bail out, believing that Lieutenant Hubbard would be able to regain control. Schwartz and Woosley said that learning the life stories of the 4 airmen was fulfilling. "In a way, I feel like I met them after learning about them," Schwartz said. Woosley voiced a similar sentiment. "The human interest side of the crash, it really touches both of us," Woosley said.